Namaste. So when we look at all these curves of fate and destiny through which we move, totally from the unknown to the unknowable, or from the little known to greater known to the ultimate knowledge. Either which way we look at it. This journey, when we look at it, sometimes you wonder, but what is the security? Where is the security? In one life, how much can you learn? So, what happens to those who cannot complete this learning in one life? Arjuna asked question. Krishna answered very summarily, don't worry, Arjuna, you're a good guy, you are my bhakta. Next life you will come back and come. Those who go through steadfast in yoga, they will come back and they will eventually be born in a good family. Good family is not about with a silver or golden spoon. Most likely not. But good family is the family of bhaktas or family with virtuous, people who are virtuous. That's how Shri Krishna describes a family where you will recover the yoga and move fast. He nowhere says you'll be born in the family of the rich. So all this idea is all humbug that you're born in a rich family, God has been very kind. Probably has not yet taken you seriously. So this is this is for Arjuna, and Arjuna is very satisfied. It's okay. But what about otherwise in normal life? Where is the security? We have gone through a curve and we failed, or nothing really happened much. So what happens? So that's where we understand the secret of something within us which learns and grows through this process, deep within. So we can look at every life like a classroom. So in one life, when we are in kindergarten, then God says, play, chocolates, Mercedes. Okay, so palaces, you're very happy. Duryodhana is very happy. I have got all the things in the world. Then you go to primary section, so little more, but still you're like a kindergarten stuff. So again, go step by step. One lifetime is all about, our life was very good. Both my children are settled. They are, doing a good job. One is in America. Now I think people are beginning to change, So another one, Dubai mein bahut acha kaam hai. This is like when you are going through primary section. So that's your idea of. So then after that, you go into higher secondary. Now, you're a bit serious. Life is taking you seriously. So each class we learn something. Then there is intense studying. So you have to grow now, faster. You are meant for something. Now you are coming closer to that point where your choices will really make a big difference upon your life. So there is something within us. While we go from one class to another, let's be honest. And from, let's say, higher secondary and intermediate to graduation, and graduation to post-graduation, what do we remember? I know about myself with all the wonderful marks in physics, which I was very proud about. If somebody asked me today, tell me de Broglie's, theorem, and I would, kya tha yaar? Padha tha. Things like uncertainty principle, okay, you can understand that because it's got a philosophical connotations. But even sine and beta, theta, tan, you were so enjoying that time. It was like freaking out. Oh, wow, this is the kind of mathematics. But nothing. But was it waste? No. It helps us to grow into the muscles of the mind. We understood that life doesn't run only 1 + 1 = 2. It also takes tangential course. It also follows a sine curve. A lot of learning you can do through mathematics. There's also infinity at the other end, which is beyond the measurable. So all this you learn, when you go through, your mind becomes ready to assimilate that. But who is the learner? As we go through different stages, the soul is the learner. And it learns in strange ways than we understand. Again, I remember one of the things when I was asking, you should ask children about few years back. You'll see something very interesting. So once I asked my son, okay, what do you remember from your kindergarten school? He says, oh, Madam so-and-so. I said, what do you remember about that madam? Normally you think she used to teach very well. Nothing. He said, she used to put a rose on her jacket. That's what I remember. I said, the boy has got an eye for taste, for colors. But look at it. He remembers that. So life has a kind of learning which is parallel running on many levels. We think it's the outer event. No, it is something else which is happening deep within. And that deep within is the soul. This is just an outer example. So always something learns and grows, even if we don't know it. And when we come back, we carry on from that point. Take an example of an engineer. Thomas Alva Edison. He made the bulb after so many failures. So somebody asked him, "Oh, you failed so many times. Then you invented the bulb." He said, "No, it was so many steps procedure. Because you do something and it collapses." So what has happened? The object has collapsed, but the learning has gone. You have developed a knowledge that, look, I should do it better this way. This is how the soul grows, and it always guards that fate inside. Our fate, which is ultimately to manifest something of the divine. And that fellow is central being is sitting up there, the true Jivatma. It is all the time guarding us, but we don't realize. It's only when the psychic being grows reasonably that it becomes aware of its mission, what it must manifest. And then the central being says, "Good, now you are on that track." But through that, we go through many things. So here there is a passage on page 42, 43. But I'll read only from page 43, little bit. Oh no, sorry, I have page 49. 48, 49. See, this is how learning works. I opened that page and I realized I think I have read 43. Now, it's not always a conscious process, but something within learns. How does the soul look at life? Why does it take all this journey and this challenge? So, page 48, ourself and a high stranger whom we feel, it is and acts unseen as if it were not. It follows the line of sempiternal birth, yet seems to perish with its mortal frame. We think, oh, the person died. No. Something has gathered all that information, what was needed, turned it into mint of knowledge, and further processed it and integrated as the gold mine of wisdom. And then it comes back. Assured of the apocalypse to be. Why does the soul undertake this whole long journey? It knows God is walking with me, and this is 100% certitude. Only the soul has that faith and certitude. No other part has. So the sooner we discover this fellow, the better it is. Then we know God is with us, what is there to fear? But until then, will it, won't it? That's why Mother and Sri Aurobindo insist upon discovering the psychic being. It reckons not the moments and the hours, great, patient, calm, it sees the centuries pass. Is Sri Aurobindo's life, French Revolution, which failed at one level, but succeeded at another level. And he's participant in that. At one place, someone asked Sri Aurobindo, what about failures in God's work? He says, what if failure suits his work better? This world has progressed with half a dozen revolutions, and almost all of them were declared as a failure during their own time. And of course, he is partly alluding to the French Revolution, which seemed to be a failure. But look today, even in Indian constitution, we have freedom, equality, fraternity. I just discovered, I said, Arey wah, Indo-French collaboration is there. How come these ideals have now become seeded in the mind of the race? It's no more just the French Revolution. They are revolutionizing mankind. Awaiting the slow miracle of a change in the sure deliberate process of world force and the long march of all revealing time. That's why when we haste, we delay the process. When we are patient, full of faith, we go through perfection. Someone went to a master, I want to practice yoga. I have taken a sabbatical for 3 years. I want to do it all in 3 years. The master says, you can't do it in a hurry. What if I put double my effort? Then you will take 6 years. What if I put all of myself? Then 10 years. He says, what is this, master? He says, yes. First thing is learn to be patient, learn to be calm. deliberate world force. It doesn't miss anything. That is the beauty of the master artist. When the picture is complete, it is picture perfect. Not a dot is missing from where it should be. It is the origin and the master clue. This is where we find the clue. A silence overhead and inner voice. What is the silence overhead? The Jivatma ever, it holds the original script. But within, it is present as the psychic being. An inner voice, a living image seated in the heart. An unwalled wideness and a fathomless point. You go deep, deep, deep within. You will keep going deeper and into that vastness of the infinite. So this is the door. The real towards which the truth of all these cryptic shows in space. If you look at a human being's life from the surface, what can we understand? We'll draw all the wrong conclusions. Oh, Duryodhana was such a lucky guy. That time if people were to... they talk about God, but look at Duryodhana. Theek hai, at the end he died one day, he had a pain. But he enjoyed life. But if you look at centuries later, he was such a unfortunate wretch. He had the chance. Karna. People would have sympathized. But now you feel, when you look back, you feel what a chance he missed. The chance of truly achieving glory in the highest sense. And he missed. Why? Because of intense ambition. I want to defeat Arjuna. Nothing else he could see. Completely clouded. Ambition took the better of him. So this is how the real towards which our strivings move, the secret, grandiose meaning of our lives. Our lives are not misspent or wasted. It is moving towards a grand event, grandiose meaning. A treasure of honey in the combs of God. Abhi, we have to extract that honey, no? Out of everything. And you know how it is guarded? First of all, it has to be formed. And all the honeybees, don't try prematurely to get that treasure. It will be bit black and blue. So a treasure of honey in the combs of God. A splendor burning in a tenebrous cloak. Tenebrous cloak is the body. It is our glory of the flame of God, our golden fountain of the world's delight, an immortality cowled in the cape of death, the shape of our unborn divinity. It has the blueprint of the future. So it is assured of the apocalypse. The moment you touch the soul and are one with it, fate loses its meaning at one level. Things come and go, but you know that through all this, she is carrying us towards what we are meant to be. Maybe in this life, okay. Maybe in another life, fine. Maybe in 10 lives, doesn't matter. There is a poem of Sri Aurobindo, Meditations of Mandavya. I have a thirst, and the thirst presupposes water somewhere. But in this life, I may never find. Old nature sits a phantom by the way. Yet, I shall persist, O Lord. There are lives beyond. I shall not faint, O Lord. I shall persist. This is the state when you discover the soul. Then all this, comparison, contrast goes away. And then he says, it guards for us our fate in depths within. Now, this is the highest meaning of fate. What is fate? Fate is what we are destined to become in the eyes of the divine. And that is something always beautiful, some aspect or the other of divine. As Sri Aurobindo says in Savitri elsewhere, he says that, O King, the events that meet thee on the road, though they touch thy body and mind with pain, suffering and pain, a while, they are not thy fate. They touch thee a while and pass. The road, the goal thou choosest are thy fate. You come to Pondicherry, in between you will see many events. Sometimes you'll hear a call which is, sad call, distress call. Some people will take a detour. Pondicherry ja rahe the. Oh, why don't you visit Hyderabad? Okay. Some people will go back from Hyderabad, forgetting to come. Then one day they will remember, oh, I was supposed to. Okay, let's take the journey now. Then they are waiting for people to come together. And people will never come. Then one day through all this trial and tribulation, they reach. And then all that is left behind. They understand this is fate. Fate was that I was destined to be here. Through all these trials and tribulations of life. That is fate. Fate is the end point towards which we are being led through the events and circumstances. Events and circumstances and situations are not fate. They are a passage for the force of fate to accomplish its predestined end. They will come and go. Events, circumstances, situations. So this is what he is revealing to us. It guards for us. What guards for us? The soul in man. That's why it is said the soul in man is greater than his fate. It guards for us our fate in depths within, where sleeps the eternal seed of transient things. Always we bear in us a magic key concealed in life's hermetic envelope. A burning witness in the sanctuary regards through time and the blind walls of form. A timeless light is in his hidden eyes. He sees the secret things no words can speak, and knows the goal of the unconscious world and the heart of the mystery of the journeying years. Again and again, find the soul.